Hello, this is Lyrelion, and welcome to Ars Expeditions. This is my new mage tower that I've been building to do my new 1.21.1 tutorials. Today we're going to talk about building a Archfruit source generator. So we're just going to go ahead and step here into my source generation room. As you can see, I've got the four basic Archfruits. We got the Frostia, the Mendostine, the Bastion Fruit, and the Pomegranates. Didn't see the need to add flash pines to it because I only need 4 fruits for the basic setup. Each quadrant has 9 logs of the appropriate type with fruits on all sides. So we got the Pomegranates, the Frostias, the Mendostines, and the Bastion Fruits. In each quadrant, you've got a tablet of harvest in the center, feeding into a repository underneath. You can see each quadrant is set up similarly. And then each of those repositories has a starbuncle assigned to it that will take from that repository and feed the central repositories here near the mycelial source link. We've got the item frame filters. They should only be picking up that type of item anyway, but it just adds another layer of protection to make sure they don't get some random piece of dirt or something that ends up clogging the platform. So those repositories will feed through the hoppers to the adjacent pedestal, which will then feed the mycelial source link in the center. That will then fill the jars above, which are then powering the source relays running throughout the tower. We've also got some agronomic source links. Compared to the mycelial, the agronomics are not really doing a whole lot here. And truthfully, only one of them is really needed anyway. This entire farm is within range of a single agronomic source link. I just put one on each corner just for the aesthetics. Above each of the quadrants, I also have a growth turret. They are all currently turned off because it's producing enough source on its own that it's not really necessary. If I were doing some projects that were using large amounts of source, I could turn one or more of these quadrants on. And what that's going to do, you see it's got the projectile, pierce, linger, sensitive, AoE, grow. What that's going to do is fire a projectile down that's going to create a linger cloud too deep. It's going to cause everything in that section to grow rapidly. And it's going to fire every 10 seconds. That can be adjusted, but 10 is a pretty good number on that. Like I said, they are currently turned off because it's just for day-to-day operations. It's not really necessary, but if I were doing a lot of high-intensity source use, I could turn one or more of those on temporarily. There's also a system underneath the floor here that is gathering any excess items that do drop and just feeding them into the lectern system. If you're not using source rapidly enough, you will eventually fill these repositories, and you'll need some way to gather those extra items that are appearing. That can be done by a number of means. Here in Ars Expeditions, I just have item collectors, but you can also, if you're just using base Ars, you could use something like an allay in a jar and just have it feeding into a lectern. Pretty simple. But that is a basic Archfruit source generator. You can obviously scale this up if needed pretty easily, to be honest, but this works pretty well for my needs. Welcome to my new series of tutorials. I will be posting more over the next few weeks as I go over the new things and some old things that are here in 1.2, 1.1. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more of my content, and thank you for watching.